Ladies and gentlemen, the XRP price just hit $3.20, but over the past few minutes, the new lawsuit document by the SEC just came out. It's basically the SEC's appeal, and many were thinking that it was not going to be dropped, and that was causing the price to increase a lot. Right now, we're still at $3.11, though, still ridiculous in my opinion. Extremely happy to see it. But of course, we did get ourselves this document. Also, on a side note, we did get ourselves officially the highest daily close ever for XRP. So a very eventful day, to say the least. I'm just watching all of this in awe. I'm just watching it thinking, damn, did this really just happen? All right, that's exactly what I'm talking about right now. All right, I mean, I've been streaming for like 4 hours today. I think 3 or 4 hours. We've definitely streamed for. And every single time I'm just looking at it thinking, is this real life right now? And I've said on multiple occasions, give yourself a little reality slap, because $3.11 is ridiculous. I was talking today about selling at $3 a coin. Right now we're up 4 or some percent from that even. I'll say the same thing again. If you're witnessing life-changing gains, it is not stupid to sell, but I mean, if $3 was hit, I think it's time for $5. I mean, if $3 was hit, it's only like 30% move to $4 now, right? I mean, I remember though, talking about like, oh, it's $2, $12, $2, this, $2. Now it's like a 3 instead of a 2 at the start. Anyway, so I just want to quickly discuss what happened here. So I talked before about what has to be dropped today. It's basically the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit that the SEC is trying to appeal. And what that means is they're saying, hey, there were some results in the lawsuit that we do not agree with. We want a do-over. And that has multiple parts still from there on forward. Basically, for the moment they say it as a do-over, it's a long story. But the long story short is that even if the judge agrees here, it's all going to be a very long circular process still of going back to things. Point being, right now the SEC is going to shift hands in a few days. They dropped a document. That's the start of a whole new process. So they're basically saying, we're not going to let this appeal slide. We're actually going to appeal because they just put the document in. But from here on forward, Ripple will have to post their documents. Replies to everything is going to be filed eventually as well. But most likely none of that, I'm guaranteeing you almost, that nothing really will come out or change before the new SEC. And by the time that Gary Gensler is gone, right now we're expecting such crazy bullish things for Trump. It's kind of a small chance that they're going to actually be able to set this lawsuit through the moment that Trump comes in. So it's kind of like a waste of resources, and the guys at Ripple were already talking about it before, that basically it's a waste of money, right? To quickly get back to it, Stuart Alderty, the chief legal officer over at Ripple, stated this. On January 20th, let me quickly zoom out a little bit. On January 20th, Gensler's war on crypto ends at the SEC. So in just 4 days from now, we asked the SEC to agree to postpone the filing of their opening brief in their appeal of our victory. Current deadline is January 15th, so we just saw the filing anyway. And they refused. What a waste of time and taxpayer dollars. Nevertheless, we are confident in our position on appeal and look forward to working with new SEC leadership to resolve the matter. Because once more, Gary Gensler is not going to be able to set this through. He puts the note in, but that's also the end of it. Gensler, very much on brand, completely dismissive of the 2024 election and the American public, whom seem to be very pro-crypto, fully commits to his failed regulation by enforcement agenda to the bitter, bitter end. Anyway, some points that are interesting are, for example, when you look at argument, the district court erred in concluding that as a matter of law, retail investors did not reasonably expect profits based on Ripple's public representations that it would increase XRP's price. XRP investors were led to expect profits based on Ripple's efforts. This is just, again, the SEC stating this is why you were wrong, court. The district court erred in requiring that investors know that the seller is Ripple or its affiliate. Again, these are all prongs of Howey. For investors to expect profits from the efforts of others, an issuer, this is point 1 of that, an issuer can lead investors to expect profits from its efforts without the issuer or its affiliates making direct sales to those investors. A requirement that retail investors know that they are purchasing from the issuer or its affiliates undermines the federal securities law's protections for offers and sales that issuers make indirectly through intermediaries. 3, the undisputed facts demonstrate that retail investors expected profits based on Ripple's efforts, regardless of whether they knew that they were purchasing from Ripple or its affiliates. And then point number C, the district court erred in distinguishing between the institutional investors and retail investors and what they were led to expect. And point number 2, the district court erred in concluding as a matter of law that there was no investment of money with respect to Ripple's offers and sales of XRP for non-cash consideration. And then a conclusion at page 55. You know what? Let's quickly scroll to 55. Let's quickly scroll because we are 51, 54, 55. Let's quickly see. Here we go. The district court erred in concluding that defendants' offer and sales of XRP to retail failed to satisfy Howey. So they basically want to fully turn it around and say, hey, court, you discussed a few things. We don't agree. So whatever you were saying before, we disagree. They failed to satisfy Howey's expectation of profits requirement. But we talked before, right, about how a lawyer said that regardless, they still have to go through the other prongs of Howey if even this is turned around. But the judge basically made it very clear in the most simple way possible, so it did not really have that much overarching consequence in other cases. But even if they go back on this, the judge will probably go to the second prong of Howey, and from there on forward, I think this is just a useless endeavor, but hey, who am I to say that? I will quickly say, again, $3.10 on XRP, $3.11. Earlier, I made a video at $3 a coin saying, if you want to sell right now, it's not too stupid. I'll say it again. If you're witnessing life-changing amounts of gains, I set this at $2.80 a coin. I set this at $2.60. So you can look at me thinking, oh, what a fool he is. But all I'm trying to do is protect you because I know these markets and things can go down hard. The prices we're seeing right now are ridiculously high. It could go way further, sure. But it's so freaking high that to some extent, it's not stupid to sell a good chunk, man. Hey, if you could change your life, change your life. That's what I like to say. The district court expressly did not address whether Howey's other... Anyway, I will also say, I would not buy at these prices. I will buy way lower. Like, above $2.70 is crazy work, in my opinion. But people do their own thing. The district court expressly did not address whether Howey's other requirements were met with respect to those offers and sales. But because the district court found Howey's other requirements satisfied for Ripple's offer and sales of XRP to institutional investors, and defendants did not argue that those requirements would differ for sales and offers of XRP to retail investors, or what an annoying sentence, or for offers and sales of XRP for which Ripple received non-cash considerations, this court should order summary judgment for the commission. So they're basically saying, no, you got to agree with the SEC because you're wrong. Accordingly, this court should vacate the district court's final judgment, order summary judgment for the commission with respect to defendants' offer and sales of XRP to retail investors and Ripple's offers and sales of XRP for which Ripple received non-cash consideration, and remand to the district court for further consideration of the founder, co-founder, and CEO aiding and abetting of Ripple's Section 5 violations with respect to offers and sales to retail investors and imposition of additional remedies. That's basically it. Now, you can run this through ChatGPT for a little second to basically see for yourself, or I guess find out if this is a good or badly written thing, because that I will not be able to know. And since it just got dropped about 3 minutes ago or something like that, like 10 minutes ago here, because I've been recording for a few minutes, I don't know what to deduce from this, right? I can't tell you. All I know is just the SEC stating again that whatever the judge said was wrong, but the SEC is going to shift in a few days. Who gives a crap about what they think? So that's kind of funny. I kind of did not I expected them 100% to file it, by the way. But I kind of did still, in my head, think, what if they don't, because they know it's going to be fruitless? But the fact that Ripple asked them to do it in a few days, and they said no, right? Because remember, the parties have filed a stipulation stating that they will file a deferred appendix for the cross appeals, which again is basically Ripple saying, you know what, you appealed and you disagree with the lawsuit, we will also appeal. And how that works is, let's just say the lawsuit ended, right? You have a yay, a nay for one. So for Ripple site, let's say they are the defendant here. You have a yay and a nay. So one good, one bad result. On the one hand, the SEC looks at that thinking, hey, this is all wrong, right? Because they had one nay. So they're like, hey, we think from their side there's one wrong. They want to appeal it. Ripple can also look at the same results and say, you know what? We actually lost on one part. We don't agree with that. But there's multiple sides to that. You can basically say whatever your appeal is, we disagree with that. And the opposite side is, well, we actually also disagree with the whole suit, but for our reasons. So those are kind of the two parts that are ongoing. Anyway, I just want to quickly also state that today has been a crazy day because right now it's being stated everywhere, at least a few hours ago. Let's quickly scroll through. That President-elect Trump's SEC to revamp crypto policy and may pause enforcement. Let's quickly go through this little document right here. Let's quickly watch it from the start.
This onslaught at lower prices, I'm pledging today that in my second term, We will eliminate a minimum of 10 old regulations for every one new regulation. We'll be able to do that quite easily, actually. And instead of attacking industries of the future, we will embrace them, including making America the world capital for crypto and Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's actually that wild. First of all, why was there no real applause there? I guess it's not the right audience, or I'm not sure exactly what's happening right there. But my point still is, this is really happening. And so, regardless of what the SEC is putting up right now, it's most likely all useless, most likely all a big waste of dollars. He did say in his second term, it might take a little bit of time for some of this stuff to kick in, but the change is happening. I don't know why anybody would sell at these points. I do get it if you just, $3.08 right now. If you do want to quickly flip something, but here we're way too low for me to be excited. Then again, if it dips back down, we probably just buy a significant amount more. I could sell and buy back cheaper, I know, but I'm fine with just holding through. We're still $30K in profit on our $9,000 we put in. On Bybit, we're of course significantly more in the profit right now at $45K in the profit with 20 already locked in, so $65K right now. Pretty good. The other account is also doing pretty well, but we're going so much higher over the next few weeks to months, especially with Trump coming in hot in the next week. It's going to be crazy exciting. But yeah, that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to quickly get you guys an update in. And make sure you put the notification bell on, because I already told you, something crazy happens, I'll be here. We just streamed for freaking hours. If you weren't here, it was funny stuff, all right? You guys are awesome when it comes to these streams. I always love it. But yeah, that's about it.